Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. I just caught myself. I was gonna say magandang umaga. Well, actually, in the Philippines, magandang umaga. But dito, because of course we're broadcasting live from London, England, magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Ang pangalan ko po, Lira Simon Kabatbat of Douglas Simon Solicitors. Abogado po ako dito sa England, sa Inglaterra, and I have been in practice for, gosh, I had to think then, it's such a big number, 33 years. I know, 33 years. My office has been established for 28 years, 28 years. So we're, so I'm beyond 3 decades. My office nearly 3 decades nga, and we are based in Richmond. That's on the district line, dulo ng district line. If you're ever around to come in my neck of the woods, that is Richmond nga, come and say hello. Anyway, so welcome po. Thank you very much for joining me on our usual Thursday get together nga, and it is 2 weeks countdown to Christmas. Wow, it's astonishing. I hope that you have something nice planned. Alam ko maraming mga tao nga na unfortunately can't be with their family, and that's terribly sad. And some of those we will be we will hopefully be helping out tonight because they've posed questions. And certainly, thank you very much for writing in with your questions. And as usual nga, pag-uusapan nga natin ngayon. So we will deal with questions from viewers, what concerns you, and obviously try to have to give it a practical spin. As usual, we have chosen our topic from our star question, and let me just see if I can read it to you. It's actually it's great. It's a good one. They're all great questions nga, but this has everything in it, So, basahin ko nga sa inyo, and then let's talk about the topic. So, sabi niya, hi, ask ko lang po for your advice, Na-refuse po ako last year nung buntis ako dahil sa financial reason. So, nagpasok siya ng application dito, and it seems she was refused, Ano pong visa options ang pwede sa akin ngayon? Pwede po ba na friends, relatives ko sa Pinas ang maging sponsor namin? British citizen po ang partner ko, pero hindi siya based sa UK. At wala rin po siyang pamilya, wala siyang family o assets doon. Kaya hindi niya kami ma-sponsor ng baby namin. Na-refuse din po ang British passport application ng baby ko kasi sa Pinas. Application ng baby ko kasi sa Pinas ako nanganak. Right? Okay, that's actually quite an interesting point, Ano po kayang best next steps namin? Maraming salamat. Now, so yan ang topic nga natin. So it involves two separate issues really. That is yung nanay nga, anong visa kailangan nga niya, makapunta dito, at saka yung baby. So we're going to, the topic is from the mother's concerns nga. So ang topic po natin ngayon is spouse applications. What if you do not earn enough? So you're looking to come to the UK based on relationship, but what happens if your sponsor is not earning enough? Or indeed, ikaw ang sponsor, gusto mong kunin yung asawa mo dito, yung fiancé mo nga dito, o yung partner mo dito dahil hindi nga kayo kasal, pero ang sweldo mo hindi sapat. What's enough also pag-uusapan natin. So it's usual nga, it's a big topic. And of course, we won't forget nga yung situation ng baby niya, which is it's a separate issue altogether. It's actually an interesting one, So pag titingnan nga natin kung bata pinanganak nga dito, bata nga pinanganak sa atin, and also what happens if the parent is British, for example, yun titingnan nga din natin. So it jam-pack this question. So thank you very much for writing in. And I'll remind you again, kung gusto niyo akong kausapin, you want to message me, not too late, and I will try my level best nga to read it out and to say hello back. Pero kung meron ka mga questions nga, again, not too late, no, to pose the question nga to me ngayon. But also, if you want me to discuss it, to look into it, and and to see what the issues may be, then email me by next Wednesday, that Thursday nga ang get together natin, ano. But nothing beats really seeing a solicitor, okay? Dahil ito nga, I will try my best to unpack the questions nga, but nothing beats seeing a solicitor on a one-to-one basis. You can see someone nga on a fixed fee, so at least they will take your notes of your facts. They'll be able to advise you specifically nga on your case, no? And as I say, most solicitors would have a fixed fee cost. So ibig sabihin, you can get advice on that occasion. Then it's up to you kung gusto nyo ituloy o hindi, no? But at least you hopefully will have been informed of, which way potentially to go, and a structure, a plan, no? So yun. Now, I won't go on too much kung dami natin mga questions nga ngayon. But as you know, may batian tayo mamaya, no? So it's not too late. Message me, okay? Message me. And if you're watching now, thank you for watching. I hope you stay with me throughout, no? So we're going to take a quick break. Saglit nga lang po, and then we're going to launch into our topic, which, as I've said, is spouse applications. What if you do not earn enough? No? All right? So sandali lang po. I'll be right back. Welcome back po to LIRA in Law for our usual Thursday get-together between 7:30 and 8:30 p.m. No? Ang pangalan ko po, Lira Simon Kabatbat of Douglas Simon Solicitors. We are a firm of solicitors based in Greater London, District Line actually, no? The Green Line, not the District Line, yeah. And so, yeah, we've been doing this a while, as I said earlier. Ako over 3 decades, and my office nearly 3 decades. Anyway, without further ado, because ang dami nating mga kailangang pag-usapan nga ngayon, let's launch into our topic. Our topic is spouse applications. What if you do not earn enough? And this is from one of our viewers nga. So ang sitwasyon niya, she's had a refusal already, no? It seems, for financial reasons. Yung partner niya, hindi siguro sila kasal. At least I don't get that vibe from the question. But they're clearly together nga. Meron silang anak na. May baby na nga sila. That baby made an application for a British passport, but that was refused for some reason. But we'll deal with it nga. Ang partner nga niya is British, but does not live in the UK, not based in the United Kingdom. But even if he were based in the United Kingdom, it doesn't look like he has assets nga dito or income in the UK. Hence the topic, no? What if you do not earn enough if you're looking to make an application for spouse application? I say spouse, but actually it's the same issue that would apply to someone fiancé or kaya someone who is unmarried but has been in a relationship like a marriage, a minimum of 2 years, no? And especially na nga ngayon, because of the change in the rules, the increase in the minimum income requirement nga, this problem of income, of a financial requirement has become more acute, no? It's affecting more people nga. So yun pag-uusapan nga natin ngayon. So just to summarize, as I say, Briton ang partner niya, may baby siya. I don't understand why baby that did not get a British passport, but we'll deal with that. Financial reasons ang problema. So let's have a look at that. Unang-una, sabi mo sa akin, he's not based in the UK. Now, that is a problem. So, kung ang application mo, gusto nyo mangyari, dito ka natitira, kasama mong anak mo nga, no? And of course, British nga yung partner mo. Then, the British partner must actually be based in the UK. Now, it could be, kung nakatira siya sa atin, nagsasama kayo sa Pilipinas nga, so he's based in the Philippines at the moment, but he's looking to come back to the United Kingdom, that's fine. It's just you are coming in to join him. No? O kaya nasa ibang bansa siya, but he's then coming back to the UK to work in the United Kingdom. And then when he's in the UK, he's then looking to bring you over along with your baby in the UK. Again, that's fine. What's not fine is that sabihin natin he's based in, I don't know, Dubai. No? So gusto niya mangyari, he's living in Dubai. That is his base nga. But he's looking to bring you into the United Kingdom. That it doesn't work because the idea is that you are in a relationship, no, like a marriage. And if you're not living together and you do not intend to live together, then that is a potential issue. It would be different, of course, kung sabihin natin you nandito kayo, no? So you both enter the United Kingdom and then maybe he works partly nga in Dubai. 10 months of the year, for example, and comes back to the UK, but UK is still the base. Then that would be fine. What's not fine, as I say, is doon siya nakatira, dito ka nakatira. Ito kasama ng baby mo. So that's the first issue you need to deal with. And that is your partner's base. And also, it'll be a bit strange nga, kung nandun siya sa ibang bansa siya nakatira, tapos nandito ka. But so there's also a practical reason for it. So the Home Office will likely say, well, no, this is supposed to be based on a relationship, but they don't have a relationship. If you're not living together and do not intend to, that is a problem. So you need to deal with that. But let's say na nandun siya sa atin, dun siya, wala nga nagtatrabaho siya sa atin, wala siyang trabaho sa atin, gusto niyang isama ka dito, no? O sabihin natin bumalik siya dito, but he doesn't have a job. That is when the issue of minimum income requirement, that would be the second issue to look at. So, kung ang problema po income. Now, let me just backtrack a bit there, no? So, the minimum income requirement for spouse o kasal kayo, for a partner, kung hindi ka kasal but you've been in a relationship like a marriage, a minimum of 2 years, or fiancé, so balak nyo magpakasal nga dito, the minimum income requirement across board is £29,000 before tax. Now, when you what they want to see is a per annum, so 1 year income. That's normally how they would. I mean, it's actually there are different types of employment. Of course, there's self-employment. There's if you have a company, and of course, there's also the more bog standard, which is on a PAYE, pay as you earn, which means that yung may trabaho ka dito, kinakaltas yung tax, nagbabayad ka din NI number, diretso yun sa gobyerno, no? So before tax, ang kailangan yung pakita £29,000, and usually if you're on a PAYE, then tax is your income is calculated from April to April, so that 1 year. No, so £29,000, and the evidence you need to show depends very much on the type of employment that you have, also the type of income that you get. So it could be that you get pension, for example, or income from your company, self-employment, ganoon. So that becomes more complex. Pero sabihin natin, dito yung partner mo, dito siya nagtatrabaho, kailangan yung pakita is £29,000 before tax. Now, tumaas yun as no doubt a lot of you will know, from 18,600 back in 2023. No? So from 2024 onwards, actually, no, 2023 onwards, pinalitan nila. It then became 29,000 pounds. Now, I know, of course, no, 18,000, 29,000 pounds, that's quite a big jump. But it could be worse. Dahil una lang sinabi, okay, 29,000 is going to go up then to 34,600, and then it's going to go up further to 38,000 pounds. No? At the moment, it's 29,000 pounds, and that seemed to be the ceiling at the moment. No? Hindi nga din natin alam kung anong mangyayari pa in the future, whether they change that. But at the moment, that appeared to be the ceiling. And also, reports have been submitted to say that really should be the ceiling or even lower. There was a report a few months ago from, I think it was MAC. So it's anyway. So it's at the moment 29,000 pounds. However, and this is really the point that you want to take note on. You can earn less than that, or he can earn less than that, potentially, if there are what's called exceptional circumstances. Now, you're watching, you're saying, ano ibig sabihin nun? What is exceptional? They don't actually define exceptional circumstances, and it's very difficult also to define really. They can give examples though. Now, one would be kung may bata ka, no? So your baby, of course, is you would say that your baby would be the best interest of your baby will be better served by both parents being about. So you can potentially argue that actually there are exceptional circumstances, because otherwise you are separated as a family. Now, let's say you do have, you want to argue that you have exceptional circumstances. If there are exceptional circumstances, then the Home Office, ang gagawin nila, titignan nila, okay, hindi nga sapat yung 29, wala, yung pera hindi nga sapat sa 29,000, but are there other things that would show that they can support themselves in the UK without recourse to public funds? And they would be things like, sabihin natin, meron kang job offer, ikaw mismo, no? Nasa Pilipinas ka nga ngayon, no? You have a job offer though, and your job offer is 20,000 pounds or 15,000 pounds. But when you add that job offer, yung sweldo mo nga, to the income of your partner, if he's in the United Kingdom, then it could be that you actually reach 29,000 pounds. So it's a job offer nga lang. But the Home Office will, of course, assess, how serious is this job offer? So kung meron kang kumpanya nga na sabi nila, oh, no, it's pagka nandito ka na, yeah, we're happy to employ you because you have the skills nga. You need to provide the offer letter nga. They'll want to check out that indeed this is a true offer. Another possibility to persuade them nga that you're able to support yourselves in the UK without recourse to public funds is kung meron kang mga pamilya. Now, sabi mo sa akin kanina, pwede ka bang sponsor ng mga friends and relatives sa Pinas. But you don't actually say kung meron kang friends or relatives o yung partner mo in the United Kingdom. Of course, you can get support nga from friends and relatives in the Philippines, but you need to be able to show that that's going to be consistent. So sabihin natin, yung nanay tatay mo, they are very generous and they fortunately are also well off. Pwede silang magpadala sa'yo buwan-buwan ganito. No? Then that would be something. Yeah? Potentially to make up any shortfall from 29,000 pounds. It's important though to be able to show that actually you do reach the 29,000 pounds. If you look at other things, so yun. So there's a possibility. Home Office guidance nga. Let me just show you actually where it says here the exceptional circumstances. Ito, let me have a look. So now this is appendix FM. Yan, okay. So I'm going to actually post this on our Facebook page. Makita niyo maigi. I've underlined the sections nga of particular interest to you. And put a star towards the bottom. Makikita mo doon. Credible, let me just read that to you. Maiksi lang naman eh. Credible prospective earnings from the sustainable employment or self-employment of the applicant or their partner. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kung meron kang job offer o meron job offer nga sa yung partner mo nga, then that would be a possibility, no? To show that you can support yourselves. So that is, but emphasis nga on the word credible. So it needs to be persuasive, not just a kind of letter to say, galing sa uncle niya nga na ito, pagka nandito na sila, yeah, I'm happy to provide. That may not be enough. If you're relying on third-party support, then ako usually, I would also provide the bank statements, not just their say-so. I prepare a statement, why they're providing it, how close is that relationship, how stable will that maintenance be. So lahat yun. Importante din po, magbigay kayo ng bank statement nila. Dahil makikita, kailangan ipakita sa home office na talagang kaya nga nila. So if they're on, say, income support, support universal credit, then it may be that the home office will say, oh no, hindi nila kaya. Now, sabihin natin, the home office actually accept, that in fact it's fine. You can come into the United Kingdom on that basis. Then the visa that's going to be given to you, it will not be usually under what's called the 5-year route. So under the spouse visa, 2.5 times 2, so 5 years nga, and then you can apply for indefinite leave to remain, allowing for all factors. So, but under this route, because they have exercised the discretion in your favor and they deem that there are exceptional circumstances, ang bisang kailangan mo tuloy-tuloy 10 taon bago ka makakakuha ng indefinite. Now, what I sometimes say to my clients is, pagka nandito, sabihin natin yung bisang binigay sa'yo, pagka nandito ka na, or as soon as and you're in a position to satisfy the income requirement, then you can swap it, to the more traditional, if you like, route, which is the 5-year route, the 2.5. So, ibig sabihin, rather than having to do 10 years, you then, once you've completed 2.5 years and then 5 years, 7.5 years, then you can apply for indefinite leave to remain, of course, as a partner or spouse. Yon. Okay, so it's not all doom and gloom. Now, let's take it one step further. So sabihin natin your partner is unwell, and is in receipt of health-related benefits nga. So let me just show you the list. So adequate maintenance. So sabihin natin dito. Okay. So no, let me just see. I'm showing you the wrong one. It's the second one. Ito. Okay. So makikita mo dyan. So again, I'll post this on our Facebook. Meeting the financial requirement through adequate maintenance. So they will say, okay, if you can't comply with the minimum income requirement, is there adequate maintenance nevertheless? Now, this is a list of benefits that they say you can receive, or your partner rather can receive, that would still allow them to conclude, that is the home office, that there will be adequate maintenance for you. So, tingnan nga natin to. So, on a quick glance, makikita nyo, care allowance, disability living allowance, severe disablement allowance, industrial injuries, disablement allowance, attendance allowance. So lahat-lahat ngayon, makikita nyo, is really mainly to do with health issues. So there's been, basically, they've accepted, or you have been deemed to be in need because of your health of these these public benefit nga. So the home office, understandably, will then say, well, okay, it's accepted that you can't actually work and earn £29,000, but we think that there's adequate maintenance because you're getting these benefits nga. So it's also a possibility if your partner nga is in receipt of those. So sabihin natin nasa atin siya, nasa Pilipinas nga din yung partner mo. gusto nga lang pumasok dito, problema nga lang may sakit siya, pero malala nga ang sakit niya. So it could be, actually, yung partner mo would be entitled, say, to disability living allowance. And if he's entitled to disability living allowance, you can probably argue that you should be nevertheless granted leave to enter the United Kingdom because there is adequate maintenance. Now, hindi naman ibig sabihin that the other things are not applicable. You still need to satisfy the other things. The other things include accommodation, na meron kayong titirang pagka nandito na kayo, that the relationship is genuine, that you are looking to pursue your relationship in the United Kingdom. Sabi ko, hindi pwede na dun siya sa Dubai, sabihin natin, dito ka. Not under this route. So all those things kailangan mo pa rin gawin. But there are ways nga, there are ways, and I think sa'yo, it's probably arguing that you have enough to maintain yourself by, as I say, pointing to other things, such as potential income nga in the UK for you, your partner nga, potential maintenance support, financial support from family. It doesn't have to be in the UK, but it could be family from the Philippines, for example, as long as you can show na talagang kaya nga nila. So all those things may then lead you to get over the obstacle of the minimum income requirement, because it is part of a big part of the conditions. If you can't satisfy it, and you do not come under the exceptional circumstances, or indeed your income nga niya is not deemed, does not come in within what they call adequate maintenance nga, you'll get a refusal. Tip ko then, you've had a refusal before. Importante po that you deal with that. You on the form, on the application form, they ask you, have you had any refusals? You need to declare that. Just because it was refused, hindi ibig sabihin na baliwala na. You actually have to declare it. If you don't declare it, then the Home Office may say you have lied on the application form, and that would be very bad, because then they will refuse it and then stop you from coming back to the UK because you have sought to deceive. So importante nga, deal with it. For any applications, if you've had a refusal, they expect you to declare it. Do not assume na alam nila. Do not assume na baling wala na, because of course that's not the case. Hopefully that's of some help to you, and I really would be interested to know what happens next. It's a bit like when we have questions nga, and they're all very interesting questions, but you never tell me what happened next. So it's a bit like reading a book, not getting to the end of it. So please tell me. Now, we're not finished yet with you, That, of course, not to forget, we need to deal with your baby, your baby issue mo. So sabi mo dito, na-refuse din po ang British passport application ng baby ko kasi sa Pinas ako nanganak. But that shouldn't be on its own a problem. So, kung ang tatay niya Briton and he was British actually, when your baby was born, he was already British nga. Then usually, kahit pinanganak yung baby mo sa atin, your baby should be automatically British. Now, in some cases, that's not going to be the case. And so, for example, there's a principle called British by descent. So, ibig sabihin, if you can only, if a child is born outside the United Kingdom, tapos nandito you're British nga, you can pass on your citizenship to that child. So that's one generation. This principle means yung batang yun, kung yung ang partner mo, he can't then pass it on to his child because it only works for one generation. So it could be that that's the issue, potentially nga. It could also be, and this is this actually was is an issue that I've had with the Home Office a good few times in the past, and that is if where my client was in a relationship or is in a relationship with someone else. And then Briton nga, no, in one case. And then, but the mother was actually married at the time, although separated na nga sila, to another, and they're both in the Philippines. In that event, then it's strange, but at the strictly speaking, the Home Office would say, following on to Philippine law, the child would be registered, strictly speaking, under that the husband's name. So, which doesn't make any sense, but they've kind of addressed that, kind of. So in that case, kung ganon sitwasyon mo, then your baby will not be automatically British, but you can apply for them to become British, as in you can register them to be British. Once you've had the registration, done, the certificate of registration, you need to simply prove na he is the child of the British parent. Once that's approved and you have a registration certificate, then your baby can then apply for a British passport. By the way, passports are of course just the document nga, no? The registration, the naturalization certificates, they are what makes you British. Okay, so kung nagpasok ng naturalization, for example, when you become naturalized, when you get your certificate of naturalization, at that point you're already British, putting aside the issue of the passport. Okay, so yun. So kung ako ikaw, tip ko, go back to this, no, because your baby being British may well have no consequences for you coming into the United Kingdom. So don't drop this issue. Ang payo ko, tingnan niyo ulit. No? What was the refusal? Why was it refused? Is it simply that they're not British yet, no, and they require registration, or is the issue more problematic than that? No? Because your partner can't pass on his British citizenship because of the British by descent. No? So you're on. So don't give up on it, because I think it is also important. It'll also be important anyway pagka nandito na kayo, no? Because you probably your child being British would get rid of a few headaches, no, coming into the United Kingdom. So you're on. Now, I hope that is of help nga to you. And let me know, no, talaga, as I say, I'm giving you the analogy of, it's like reading a book, but only reading the first half, but not knowing then, no, not finishing the book. It is annoying. Or films. If you're watching films, you could go halfway lang, tapos hindi mo alam, you don't know what the ending is. And I'm truly nga interested in what happens next. No? Pero ang gagawin ko, as I say, I'm going to upload both those documents nga, because I think for a lot of people, they want, when they're told by their solicitor nga, no, exceptional circumstances, ano ba ibig sabihin nun? You can have a look, no? And there, or you can also see the financial requirements. By the way, this is yung lalagay ko dun sa Facebook page namin. This is a guidance to caseworkers, no? So this actually directly from the Home Office, and it's guidance dated 11th of November. No? So it's recent. Ano lang tayo ngayon? It's about a month old lang, no? So have a look. Now we come to my favorite part of the show, yung batian nga natin. And I think last week, I omitted to say hello to others who've said hello. My apologies po. Hopefully you're saying hello now. And then of course, after this, we're going to deal with the other questions. So, Egay, of course, Egay, the great guy from London. Sabi niya, mild Thursday. Actually, yeah, hindi gano'ng malamig. Mild Thursday to Attorney Lira and to the viewers. I worked in Canary Wharf today, and I'm taking care of Justin now. He's such a committed dad. Good news, Attorney, sabi niya. I'm ambassador of Groundwell bedsheet mat. It balances the body's electrical charges. If not balanced, will lead to insomnia and body pain. Ooh. we'll post the link for 10% discount. Looking forward to lots of learning again, and to Attorney Lira's lovely voice. Egay, the great guy. I tell you what, Egay, it's napakalamig nga. Well, actually today, tama ka. Kahapon at saka ngayon, hindi ganong malamig. But I do like to keep warm. I do. It's the Filipino blood in me nga, no? Sabi ko nga, it's people actually today were complaining. They walk into my room to talk to me, and then it's very hot. It's like one of my solicitors said, it's like a sauna in here, and it actually is. It's really hot. It's my Filipino temperature, no? Out ka, sabi niya. Advance happy holidays to everyone. To you too. Yeah, 2 weeks. No, countdown to Christmas, diba? No, it's it's a wonderful holiday, but sometimes also a painful holiday for some, no? Because you miss your family, you miss them even more because it's a special occasion. So hopefully everyone is okay, nga, no? I bought my turkey already. I don't know if you bought your turkey. It's but not that I'm cooking it. Someone else, thankfully, is cooking it. No. Mariam Galicia Paner, sabi ba? Hello po, attorney. Hi, madam. No, actually, I don't think you've said hello recently. Hello po, attorney. Sabi niya, magandang gabi po. I miss you po. Namimiss ko yung ilang weeks na topic. Oh. At sa lahat, happy Thursday, everyone. Stay safe and take care always. Ikaw din, Miss Paner. This is a new picture, no? Oh, it's lovely. Nasaan ka? Where was that taken? Is that Philippines? No, New York ata, no? Big building sa likod. Oh, that's so nice. Miss Paner and I, actually, I can say this because you said that you're saying hello, no? Miss Paner and I, we started this nearly together, no? Diba? Since COVID time, 2025 na tayo. So, maglilimang taon na tayo, Miss Paner. Wow, astonishing. Time's going so fast. Miss Jones, speaking of time going fast, Miss Jones, Marilyn Jones, and I have known each other, 2 decades, madam? 2 decades? Wow. Happy Thursday evening, sabi niya, Attorney Lira, and all viewers. Advance maligayang Pasko sa inyong lahat. To you too, madam. Yeah, maligayang Pasko po sa inyong lahat. At manigong bagong taon. No? That's coming, of course, no? Also. Miss Jones and I have we've known each other for siguro 20 years na, no, madam? Yeah, I think, gosh, a long time. David Calixto II, no? Good evening po. Good evening, sir. How are you? It's warm there, yeah? No, nasa Pinas ka, di ba? So it's probably warm. It's always warm sa Pinas. No? Miss Diesta, we love Miss Diesta. Good evening, Attorney Lira. Sabi niya, and she sent a selfie. Oh, kamusta ka, madam? Are you well? Yeah? I hope you're well, no? It is actually, hindi gano'n malamig nga ngayon, no? And it's not raining. No? So there you go. Miss Paner, sabi niya, 6 weeks po ako sa Pinas. Talaga? How wonderful. Then, kababalik ko lang po nung 26 November dito sa UK. Happy holidays po. Wonderful. That's really good, Miss Paner. Look, Philippines is beautiful. We all know that na. Yung nga lang, of course, kung nandito ka, ang layo, no? And so it's good when we go back to actually really make, as much of it as possible. Dan ang taga ng biyahe natin, no? So 6 weeks is great. Miss May Tigbao Vargas, sabi niya, hello and good evening, Attorney Lira, and everyone. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday, madam. How are you? Well? I hope you're well, no? Is that Santa in the picture? No, I think so. Yeah, it's Chris. It's astonishing, truly astonishing that Christmas na naman. It's and we're now end of 2025. And next year, already 2026. Where has time gone? No, I really do not know. I do not know where time has gone. And to think nga that I am now post-qualification experience. So hindi pa kasama yung pag-aaral ko, yung training ko, I'm already 33 years post-qualification experience. But having a blast never still, no? So now, mustn't forget. So I was so enjoying that nga. Must not forget, we have other questions, no? So tingnan natin. Let me have a look at our other questions nga. So ito, papadala ko yan sa inyo mamaya, no? Hi, attorney, sabi niya, may tanong lang po ako, sana ako. Yung partner ko po ay dumating dito noong October last year. So October 2024. So this is your second Christmas. Okay? Under skilled worker visa. At napansin po namin na wala po siyang naging tax deductions hanggang April. Okay? So until April 2025, ha? Kung ang dependent naman po ay dumating dito ng October, ganun din po ba? No? April din po ba yung siya magsisimula ng mga tax kapag nagtrabaho po siya dito? Maraming salamat po. Now, so dumating siya dito October, nag-umpisa na siyang trabaho, nagtrabaho siya from October, pero ang tax niya did not come into play until April. Now, that is strange. No? So, PAYE, so pay as you earn, goes from April to April. No? Now, nung dumating siya dito, October nga, he really should have been taxed from October hanggang April because that's still 6 months. So that's the 6th of April, by the way, 2023 to the 5th of April 2024. So sa kanya nga, kung nagtrabaho siya dito October 2023, then really he should have been taxed until 5th April 2024. Now, it could though, however, be that he didn't earn enough to go beyond the personal allowance. So ito, the personal allowance for that year, 2023 to 2024, was 12,570 pounds. Kung sweldo niya was within that time, then there wouldn't have been tax to pay. But normally, ang proseso nga is they tax you and then they give it back. No? In fact, not just give it back, you have to ask for it back in April because that's when they assess that you've earned under. So sabihin natin, they taxed you 100 pounds on a monthly basis, but actually you only earned from October to April nga the sum of 12,000 pounds. They should give you back the tax of 100 pounds that na kinaltas nila sa'yo. So there's something strange, though, that he was not taxed at all from April to October. And you should really look into that because especially in visa nyo nga, skilled worker kayo, baka magka-problema kayo if you failed to pay tax, even though it's not really potentially your fault, but maybe your employer. Ang payo ko ito, you should ask your employer nga for what's called a P60. P60 is a record of your tax for the year. It covers April to April. So he should have a P60 from October. Of course, nung nga lang siya dumating dito, hanggang April 2024. And that would then say the amount of income that you had. And it would probably, hopefully also say that it was zero tax nga before because of that. But you're still required to pay NI, National Insurance Contributions. So kung wala kayo nakuhang ganon, ask for it. You can see about getting it also from the Inland Revenue, I think, but normally that's given to you by the employer. So just now to recap, it's April to April, but really they should have been taxed. And there's something a bit strange that he wasn't taxed at all. P60. Now, we have some more questions nga. Tingnan ko na. Let me have a look. Let me see. Okay. Good day po, sabi niya, no? Humingi nga lang po ng professional guidance regarding my upcoming travel to the UK under a fiancé visa. No? Gusto ko palang malaman in detalyado, kung ano-ano pong specific documents and supporting evidence ang recommended na dalhin ko upang maiwasan ang anumang komplikasyon o potential offloading sa Philippine immigration. May iba't ibang experiences po kasi akong naririnig, sabi niya, no? Kaya gusto kong maging fully prepared at compliant sa lahat ng possible requirements. Maaari po bang i-advise nyo alin pong mga documents ang considered essential at kung may additional proofs po na makakatulong para sa maging smooth at hassle-free ang departure ko? Not surprised, because there's nothing more upsetting than being told you can't come, no? Because of this, that, or the other. Now, unang-una, I'm assuming may visa ka na. Okay? So, alam mo, nung nagpasok ka ng application, you had to upload the documents in support. So, the Home Office already have the vast majority of your documents. So, ibig sabihin, from the Home Office's point of view, dito nga, ang gusto nga lang makita, may visa ka, at saka, of course, may valid passport ka that allows you to travel into the United Kingdom. So, yung visa mo, the fiancé visa, dun nga itatatak yung 6-month visa mo dun sa passport mo mismo. Okay? And the passport, of course, should be valid. So, and of course, you need your ticket. But apart from really what you perhaps should look at nga is hindi nga lang yung Home Office requirements. Because the Home Office, you've done it. You have a visa already. You have a passport. You have a ticket. But what some people come across as an issue is this CFO, no, the Commission on Filipinos Overseas, no. So there's a certificate that they issue to you once you have undertaken some kind of course with them. And let me just read to you the part of their website. Dun sabi nga nila, no? So this is actually from their website. Sabi nila dito, the Commission of Filipinos Overseas, CFO, Guidance and Counseling Program, GCP, is a distinct program of the Philippine government which aims to protect the welfare of Filipino spouses, fiancés, and other partners of foreign nationals, former Filipino citizens or Filipino dual citizens who plan to migrate overseas. It is a definite deterrent to mail order spouse schemes and trafficking in the guise of marriage. The CFO conduct pre-departure counseling services for Filipinos in intermarriages and interracial relationship. The program aims to provide Filipino spouses, fiancés, other partners with adequate information and advice on the realities of intermarriage. Carries on. And it seems that you can do the course, for want of a better phrase, on site in Manila. That's their main office, it seems, in Cebu, Davao, Baguio, Cagayan de Oro, and satellite offices throughout. You know. So, going back to your question on kailangan mo, this is something that sometimes catches out people, no? Because for one thing, it's not a requirement by the UK. It's not a requirement by the Home Office when you're coming in. It's a requirement of the Philippines. And sometimes they would say, well, you can't leave the country unless you have this certificate. So you should do this. Nga. The reason why I'm sounding perhaps a bit uncertain about it is this. I've had clients where this has been an issue. I've also had clients where it's not been an issue. You know? On exactly the same terms. Spouse coming into the United Kingdom. And from my reading also, I'm not sure that it would necessarily apply if you've already been in the UK and you establish your relationship here and indeed even married here. No? Bumuwi ka nga lang pabalik nga dito because you know the score if you like. No? But some of my clients, even though that's the background, they've been asked for this, but some not. So it can be it can be a bit confusing. But at the moment, if you have, but going back to your question, if you already have a visa, nakatatak sa passport mo, you already have your valid passport nga, you have your ticket, no? As far as the Home Office are concerned, coming into the United Kingdom, that would be all you need. Ang payo ko, just a practical tip, pagka nagbiyahe ka, I'm sure this will be on your phone anyway, make sure that you have, of course, your fiancé's details, just in case there are issues nga. Make sure also na alam mo sa katitira dito in case you get asked, no? So when you're entering when you're at the airport nga, they ask you where you're going to stay, alam mo din, no? You should have in hand nga the telephone number for your fiance just in case. Preferably, he should also pick you up, just in case again. But otherwise, this is the only thing. It's not to do with the Home Office, but rather to do with the Philippines. This is the only thing that it may be better to just do it so you don't have the problem. Good luck. Again, let me know what happens, because truly I am interested. I want to know what happens. It would be nice also to be able to tell the rest of our viewers nga, mga kaibigan natin, to say, oh, remember, on the 11th of December, itong question nga itong nangyari, nandito na siya. So keep me informed, okay? Now, next question natin ito. I'm planning to join my British partner in the UK, pero medyo komplikado pong sitwasyon namin. Irregular pong income ng partner ko, so hindi ako sure if he consistently meets the financial requirement. Wala pa rin po kaming stable tenancy para sa accommodation proof. May previous visa refusal din po ako dahil sa financial reasons. Kaya hindi ko po alam kung paano maapektuhan sa next application. Meron po kaming relationship evidence pero hindi ko po alam kung sapat ba ang chats, calls, at travel records. Good. With these issues, ano po kayang best way to prepare a strong application and avoid the usual problems that Filipinos face when applying for a UK visa? Now, nice question, no? So, I am assuming that ang application na pinasok mo, which was also previously refused nga, it was based on relationship. So it's a bit like our star question nga. There are a number of routes nga to come to the UK based on relationship. So kung hindi kayo kasal, no? And that would be if you have been in a relationship like a marriage. Okay? You don't have to be even living together, but it must be like a marriage for minimum of 2 years. Okay? And then the other one is fiancé. So ibig sabihin nga, fiancé, you're coming into the UK to marry in the United Kingdom. Pagka nandito ka, napapalitan mo nga ang visa mo to that of a spouse. No? Now, that's not the issue at the moment. Sabi mo dito, British ang partner mo, but irregular income daw siya. Now, if he is self-employed, tapos ang income niya nga ngayong buwan na ito is £1,000, but next month it's £10,000. The irregular income, no, is not necessarily the concern. Gusto lang makita that his income must be no less than £29,000, and then you prove that, or he proves it using various means, depending really kung anong klaseng anong sitwasyon niya. If he's self-employed, as I say, or he has his own company, or he's employed nga, or getting pension. So you need to just see, okay, in that year, April's always good, no? April to April, magkano ba? No? If he doesn't have an accountant, it's probably an idea to get an accountant nga. But £29,000 is the minimum income requirement in the absence of exceptional circumstances. Okay? Yung ang pinag-usapan natin kanina. So yun, there's no exception unless, as I say, exceptional circumstances, or you can show adequate maintenance because he has benefits that's to do with his health, which I'll post later on. No? So yun. Now, stable tenancy, that's the second limb of the financial requirement. The income nga is one, accommodation is the other. So he does need to be able to show na meron kang titiran pagka nandito ka na. So, but it doesn't have to be his own flat. No, it could be a room in a flat. It could be na sa biyanan mo, or would be, no. So it could be accommodation that's provided by siblings, friends, as long as it's fairly clear you can live there, and that property also is adequate for you. No? By that I mean you're not sharing a room with other people. So yun. Now, yung application mo, tanong mo nga din dito, maapektuhan ba yung, because you had a refusal for financial reasons, maapektuhan ba yung next application? Yes. No? You have to declare that you've had the refusal, you have to declare it, no? And you should declare it because you should make a full and frank disclosure, of course, to the Home Office. And if you don't declare it, and they will find out anyway, but if you don't declare it, they may then refuse it because the failure to declare may be deemed, seeking to deceive. Okay? So importante po, lagay nyo nga yun. Now, ang payo ko, ang tip ko ito, you had the refusal, deal with it, okay? Don't just ignore it, hoping they also ignore it. They won't also. And you also need to distinguish your application na nga ngayon. So kung magpapasok ang application, alam mo, yun ang problema nga dati, deal with it. Okay? How do you deal with it? Statement. Okay? Para bang affidavit sa atin. You need to be able to show nga that you need to explain. You need to be able to explain na ito nga ang sitwasyon. No? So I always start with of course, basic details, kung applicant, saan ka nakatira, yung fiancé mo nga. And then I would launch into it, deal with it, one of the first points. You had a refusal on so-and-so date because of financial reasons. You're making this application now, having addressed that issue, and you sabihin mo, why? So you umpo. So don't shy away from the problem. Better to deal with it. You should also deal with it. So alam nila, okay, yung problema, hindi na problema nga yun. Okay? So that would be, so you asked me the question, what would be the best way to prepare a strong application and avoid the usual problems? As a starting point, prepare a statement. At saka pag nagpasok kayo ng application then, with the documents, usually, certainly we do, we always provide a cover letter. Nililista ko doon. There's also a list anyway that's generated. But I like to list also what are the documents I'm submitting. I also provide, okay, it's more difficult if you're not legally trained for it, but I usually also deal with the legal requirements. Okay, but if you can't, bear in mind you need to be able to show relationship, genuine relationship. Of course, you need to be able to show that there's income, 29,000 pounds. There's accommodation also on top of that. If you're entering the United Kingdom as either fiance or indeed based on relationship of 2 years, or that you've been as a spouse nga, you need to also do the English language. Ang payo ko do A2 as minimum rather than the A1, because that's also something that they're quite keen on in the UK. The A2 ang gawin mo. The English language, if you want higher, because then you can also use, if you go for B1 or indeed B2, because you're more than able to satisfy the English requirement, that would be good. At least magagamit mo nga dito. Those are my tips. Oh, never forget the TB test, tuberculosis test. You need that also. Okay, but pag magpapada, especially with something like this relationship nga, unmarried partner route, ilista nyo lahat. These are the documents to show that we are indeed in a genuine relationship like a marriage. Lagi siyang nagbibiyahe sa iyo. Lagi kayo nagchat-chat. Lagi kayo nagtatawagan. Nagpapadala siya ng pera. Tinitirhan mo, it's something that you own together. So the idea is you need to be able to show you're actually in a relationship like a marriage. Not just boyfriend and girlfriend, but like a marriage. Okay? Good luck. Do let me know what happens next, okay? Now, I think that may be potentially our questions nga, which is good because I've used up all our time. Now, it just leaves me really to say, thank you po, for keeping me company and listening to me, for our usual, during our usual get together between 7:30 and 8:30 p.m. on a Thursday evening. I appreciate it, and thank you very much for saying hello. And do say hello again, and send me your emails. Send me your questions before next Wednesday, and I'll try and deal with it. You never know. You may get some serious bragging rights because you're a star question. Now, just leaves me really to say thank you again. Thank you also to the Facebook groups that allow us to post our contents on their pages nga. Salamat po. Share us, share our link because it could be na makakatulong sa kaibigan nyo, kapatid nyo, yung kaibigan o kapatid ng kapatid nyo. All right. So sharing is caring, and certainly in this case, share it because libre naman. So it's share it, but nothing beats truly, seeking independent legal advice nga, to a kind of one-to-one. So if you can do that, you should do it. Now, it just leaves me really to say thank you again. I hope you can join me again next week at LIRA in Law for our usual get-together between 7:30, 8:30 p.m. on a Thursday. So hope to see you again next week, same time, same place. Good night. Oh, sorry. I said good night. I said good night, but there are additional greetings. We mustn't forget. Egay, sabi niya, Egay, the guy. Attorney Lira, in addition, I'm doing my tax assessment. Oh, because of my rental income sa paupahan. The deadline is 31st of January. Oh, tell me about it, no? For the period April 2024 to March 2025. Also, you're correct, baka below income threshold siya. Yeah, that's probably the best we can hope for, no, Egay? Then, alam mo to, no? Usually, they're very quick to tax, and then you have to ask for your money back, no? And that doesn't happen until April because they want to make sure that talagang that you did not earn over. So, don't you think it's a little bit strange, no? Wala siyang tax for like 6 months. Maybe he just got lucky. But yon. So tingnan natin. But Egay actually is very, very, he has training, no? In that. Miss Paner sa amin, hindi po ako nakaka-online kasi yung signal ang pangit po. Oh, Miss Paner, it's okay. I forgive you. Six weeks ka sa Pinas, and then as soon as you can, you log on. It's okay. I forgive you. Did you have a good time? No? I hope you had a good time. Miss Jones, sabi niya, yes, 20 years. O mahigit pa, attorney, sabi niya. Madam, I think tama ka, mahigit pa. Oh, mahigit pa. Oh, Edgar, Mr. Duway, the lovely, lovely Mr. Duway. I love this picture of you, Edgar, huh? Because you really, you exude James Bond. Magandang gabi, sabi niya. Oh, heart emoji. Po sa kababayan, buting Attorney LC, mabuhay ka at maraming salamat sa inyong pagbibigay ng dagdag kaalaman. Bawat linggo, tama ka, no? Napakalaking tulong ng mga ito. Salamat. Salamat, sir. I hope you're doing well and you're getting ready for Christmas, ha? Hey guys, sabi niya, Attorney Lira, did you say turkey on Christmas? Kami, si Uncle Pinoy, lechon belly and chicken inasal on Christmas. Happy holidays. You make me jealous, guy. I would. Turkey, lechon. No, that would be my preferred, especially yung sauce natin. Oh. But where do you get lechon, no, for Christmas Day? It's just they don't know how to cook lechon. So it's anyway, so thank you very much for that. I'm so pleased we were able to napahabol natin. So let me say again, I hope that thank you very much for tuning in, for saying hello, no? And I hope to see you next week, same time, same place at LIRA in Law. Good night. Uli.